Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to play a game from a series we haven't played in a while. It's going to be a game from a dead ball era from the 1905 New York Giants using Action PC Baseball. It's game number 46 of the season, game number 4 of a 5-game series with the Boston Beaneaters. The New York Giants have taken the first 3 games of the series. This is the second game of a doubleheader. The last game they shut out Chrissy Mathewson shut out the Beaneaters by a score of 7-0. And they'll be going for their 6th win in a row. So they're starting to put things together here, starting to get some winning streaks here. And let's get this game underway. Mr. Brody is in his co-host seat. Oh, actually, we're going to cut behind here. Hold on. What do we do? There we go. Alrighty. So let's load our lineups and get the game underway.
Pitching for Boston, Chick Fraser. Leading off for New York, center fielder, Mike Donlin.
Alright, so welcome to the South End Grounds 2 for today's game between New York and Boston in game 2 of a doubleheader. New York has won 5 straight and 9 of their last 10. Red Ames takes the mound for New York. He's made 8 starts on the year and is 6-1 with an ERA of 2.71. Be his 3rd start of this against Boston. He's 2-0 with a 3.00 earned run average against Boston. He'll be opposed by Chick Fraser for Boston. He's made 9 starts this year and is 3-4 with an ERA of 3.25. This will be his 3rd start against the Giants. He's 0-2 with a 3.38 earned run average against New York. And it's 87 degrees.
Play ball!
Alright, you got things adjusted now. So Chick Fraser on the hill. He'll be going up against a lineup which is as follows. Mike Donlin, the center fielder, will lead it off. George Brown, the right fielder, will hit second. Sam Mertes is the left fielder, batting third. Art Devlin is batting cleanup, so that's kind of interesting there. Looks like Dan McGann is going to have a day off today, at least to start the game. Bill Dowling, the shortstop, will hit fifth. Batting sixth is Bowerman, the catcher, so what's his name there? Can't think of his name now. Starting catcher will get the day off. It's been a little while since we've played this game, so bear with me. Batting seventh is Billy Gilbert, the second baseman. Hitting eighth is Boiler Yard Clark, getting a start at first today. And Red Ames, the pitcher, will bat ninth. Bresnahan, that's right, Bresnahan. I don't know how I forgot his name. Bresnahan and McGann have the day off to start the day. So we'll see how it goes. So Mike Donlin steps into the box. He's hitting .379 on the season with 3 homers and 23 runs batted in. Has scored 46 runs, stolen 10 bases with 8 doubles and 7 triples. On base percentage of .438. So Mr. Brody's in his co-host seat there. Ready, Mr. Brody? He's ready to call this game. And let me adjust stuff here so I can see everything. Alright, here we go. So defense behind Fraser is going to be Delahante in left, Cannell in center, and Sharp in right. The infield is Wolverton, Abadicio, Raymer, and the manager Tenney at first. And behind the plate is Pat Moran. So Fraser looks in for the sign from Moran. Here's the windup and the pitch to Donlin.
Right fielder,
and that's going to be a liner to Wolverton.
Brown.
So that'll bring up George Brown, the right fielder. He comes in hitting .325 with 2 homers and 32 runs batted in. Has scored 32 runs and stolen 6 bases. He has 4 doubles and 8 triples. So Fraser looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch to Brown. And that's going to be a base hit.
Fielder, Sam Mertes.
So Brown is on with a 1-out single. Tenney will hold him on. Not sure if we want to steal now. I think we're going to go hit straight up here. We're going to have Sam Mertes just hit away. Mertes comes in hitting .265 with 2 homers and 26 runs batted in. Has scored 33 runs, stolen 11 bases. So the Giants are starting to run a lot more, especially in the last month or so. He has 8 doubles and 4 triples. So here's the pitch. It's going to be ball 1 outside. And that's ball 2. Wide of the plate and low. So 2-0 the count. We have an early score here. The Cleveland Naps lead the White Sox by a score of 1-0 in the 8th. And that's going to be swing and a miss for strike 1. So 2-1 the count on Mertes. 3-1 the count now. And we have a final here in the American League. The Philadelphia Athletics had defeated the Washington Senators by a score of 6-3. And we have a full count now on Mertes. The Tigers and the Browns are tied at 1 in the 8th. In American League action. That's going to be a fly ball to left. This one hit pretty well. And that's going to be off the wall.
Third baseman, Art Devlin.
And Brown will come all the way around from first to score on the RBI single by Sam Mertes. So the Giants on the board first, here in the top of the first. That brings up the cleanup hitter today, Art Devlin. He comes in hitting .251 with 25 runs batted in. Has stolen 8 bases and has 4 doubles and 4 triples. So Mertes is a threat to steal. It looks like he's going to get a good jump here, so we may have him try to steal. He had 52 stolen bases on the season, 11 so far. He is getting a good lead, so I think we're going to have him steal here. So he gets the jump, and it's going to be no throw by Moran as he had trouble getting it out of his glove. So Mertes with the stolen bases, 12th of the season. So Devlin with an RBI opportunity here. And it's going to be ball 2, 2-0, just outside with the curveball. So Cincinnati leads St. Louis 5-2 in the 6th inning in National League action. And that's a liner to Aparicio. He makes the catch. Mertes holds at second. 2 down now. For Bill Dahlen. Bill Dahlen comes in hitting .250 with 2 homers and 32 runs batted in. Has scored 28 runs. Has 11 stolen bases with 7 doubles and 4 triples. And that's going to be a strike. Called strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2, so Dahlen's quickly in the hole. And outside for ball 1, 1-2 the count now. Dahlen is riding a 6-game hitting streak, looking to extend that. 2-2 the count. Pittsburgh Pirates lead the Chicago Cubs 13-2 in the 8th. And that's going to be a base hit. That'll score a run.
Catcher, Frank Bowerman.
So Dahlen with an RBI single. And it's now a 2-0 Giant lead as Mertes comes around the score. So Frank Bowerman getting a start today behind the plate. He's 1 for 5 on the season. .269 hitter for the actual season. And that's going to be a lunged at and miss for strike 1. And a base hit for Bowerman, so he gets a hit. And we are going to hold Dahlen at second.
Second baseman, Billy Gilbert.
So that'll bring up Billy Gilbert, .235 on the season with 16 runs batted in. Has scored 12 runs, has a stolen base, and 4 doubles. See if Gilbert can extend the lead here. And it's going to be low and outside for ball 1. And cut on and missed. 1-1 the count now. 2-1 now. Count evens at 2. Another score in the American League. It's Cleveland leads Chicago 1-0 in the 9th. And that's going to be a little dribble. A great play by the shortstop out of Ishio. Takes it to the bag himself to end the inning.
Ames. Leading off for Boston, shortstop, Ed Abadagio.
So the Giants put a 2 spot on the board on top of the first, and it's Giants 2 and the Beaneaters coming up. Giants are 32-13 on the season. Beaneaters just the opposite record almost, with a 13-33 record. Oh, it looks like the White Sox have tied the Indians in the Naps in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1 now. Keep an eye on that one. So the lineup for the hometown Beaneaters is going to be Ed Abadishio, the shortstop, will bat first. He'll be followed by Fred Tenney, the first baseman, and the manager. Batting third is Ed Delahanty, the left fielder. Batting cleanup, Rip Cannell, the center fielder. Pat Moran is the catcher. Batting fifth, Ed Wolverton, the third baseman, bats sixth. I think it's Sam Raymer, the second baseman, hits seventh. Ed Sharp, the right fielder, will bat eighth. And Chick Fraser on the mound hits ninth. So Red Ames on the hill. He's got a 271 record for this, 271 earned run average, very close to his 274 for the season. 6-1 so far, so after a very good start. 66 in the third innings pitched, 68 hits allowed, 27 walks, and only 26 strikeouts. Whip of 1.43, and hitters are batting 264 against him, so a little high on the average. Still early yet in the season, though. So Abishio comes in, hitting 255 on the season with 14 runs batted in. Has scored 20 runs, has 10 stolen bases, and has 7 doubles and 4 triples. So here's the pitch, Abishio. That's a liner to Devlin. Makes the catch for out number 1. The defense behind Ames is going to be Mertes in left, Donlin in center, Brown in right. Pretty standard defense there. In the infield, it's Devlin, Dowlin, Gilbert, and Clark at first. Clark getting a start for McGann, who has the day off. And Bowerman behind the plate will get a start in place of... why do I forget his name again? Oh my goodness. Hold on there. Bresnahan. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Probably the most one I should remember out of all of them. Alright, so 1 down now for Fred Tenney. Cleveland and Chicago are still tied at 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Chicago is still batting. So Fred Tenney comes in hitting 296 with 11 runs batted in. 22 runs scored, 5 stolen bases, and has a double. Ames looks in for the sign from Barberman. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's a dribble at second. Gilbert with it. Over to Clark.
Jim Delahanty.
So 2 up and 2 down. Oh, it's Jim Delahanty. I don't know why I get Jim and Ed always mixed up. Ed was the better player. Jim Delahanty, the left fielder, gets a start. Comes in hitting 290 with 2 homers and 14 runs batted in. Has 15 runs scored, 3 stolen bases with 6 doubles and 2 triples. And that's a dribble to short, Dallin up with it. Over to Clark, and that'll do it.
First baseman, Boiler Yard, Clark.
So the Beaneaters go in order in the first, and after 1 full, it's 2-0 New York. So Boiler Yard Clark comes to the plate. He's 1 for 9 so far in the season. Here's the pitch. And a little dribble to third. Over to first. And Wolverton retires him for out number 1. Pittsburgh all over Chicago now, 16-2 in the 9th. So that brings up Red Ames, the pitcher. 3 for 27 so far for a 111 clip. As an RBI with 3 runs scored. Here's the pitch by Fraser. And that's a liner to Wolverton for out number 2. That brings up the top of the order, Mike Donlin. Donlin 0 for 1 so far today. And he hits it to second.
Center fielder,
Raymer over to Tenney, and that'll do it for the Giants in the second. So after 1.5, it remains 2-0 New York. So Rip Cannell, the center fielder, will be Cannell, Moran, and Wolverton up against Ames here in the second. Cannell comes in hitting .296 with 14 runs batted in, has scored 22 runs, 4 stolen bases, with 6 doubles and 3 triples. And that's a little dribbler. Clark with it, over to Ames.
catcher, Pat Moran.
And there's 1 down in the Boston second. So that brings up Pat Moran, the catcher. Comes in hitting .209 in 86 at-bats. 4 runs batted in, 6 runs scored, 2 doubles and a triple. And he strikes him out.
Harry Wolverton.
The first strikeout for Ames today. It brings up Harry Wolverton, the third baseman. Comes in hitting .260 with 2 homers and 25 runs batted in. 16 runs scored with 5 stolen bases. Has 7 doubles and 2 triples. And that's going to be hit to third. And that'll do it as Devlin retires him for out number 3. So after 2 full, New York 2 and Boston nothing. Cincinnati leads St. Louis 8-2 in the 7th now. So George Brown singled his first time up, comes to the plate. And, oh, a great play by the shortstop, Aparicio. Steals a hit away from Brown for out number 1. That'll bring up Sam Mertes. So Mertes had himself an RBI single his first time up. Here's the pitch by Fraser. And that's hit to center field. This one's going a long way. And Cannell will make the catch on the warning track for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the New York third. That brings up third baseman Art Devlin. Devlin 0 for 1 on the day. And he lines out to Aparicio. And that'll do it for the Giants in the third. So after 2.5, 2-0 Giants. So it'll be bottom third. Not really the bottom third, but close to the bottom third of the order. Raymer, Sharp, and Fraser. Actually, it is the bottom third, sorry. Raymer, Sharp, and Fraser. Raymer comes in .237 with 13 runs batted in. Has scored 14 runs. Has 5 stolen bases. With 9 doubles and 1 triple. And it's a strikeout for Ames, his second of the day. So that brings up, Bud Sharp. Not Ed Sharp. So Bud Sharp, the right fielder, comes in. Hitting .208 in the season with 7 runs batted in. Has scored 3 runs and has a double. And sharply hit, pun intended, to Gilbert. And, Bud Sharp gets injured on the play. Tweaked the hamstring, but he'll remain in the game. I haven't seen the injury thing come up too often, but it does here. It might be something new with the 2018 version. I know there's an update coming up for this game soon. It was supposed to be this week sometime. I haven't seen it on their Dave Koch Sports page yet, update page, but I'll keep an eye out for that one. I don't think it's anything major. Maybe some stat keeping adjustments or something. Alright, so Chick Fraser, the pitcher, he's off to a great start at the plate. 8 for 24, 333 clip, only 224 in the actual season. Has 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. So he's been one of the better hitters, and that's going to be a great play by Dahl in the shortstop over to first. So the shortstops on both teams with some great plays so far. And that'll do it for the Beaneaters in the third. So after 3 full, it's 2-0 New York. So Bill Dallin will lead it off. Singled his first time up. It's a slow roll with a third. Wolverton up with it. Over to Tenney for out number 1. That brings up Bowerman. Bowerman 1 for 1. And he'll get a second hit of the day, so Bowerman making the most of this start. Oh, and he's going to try for 2, and he caught Delahanty napping out there. So they're going to give Bowerman a double on the play. So to bring up Gilbert, let's see here. Do we want Gilbert to bunt? 1 down now. We'll have him hit away. He is the number 7 hitter, so we'll have him hit away. And it's going to be a strike, swing and a miss. And a base hit for Gilbert. Gets himself an RBI. Oh, possibly. Let's see here. Or are we going to send Bowerman home? With 1 out now. He's a catcher too, so we'll keep him there. So it'll put runners at the corners for Boilyard Clark. Clark 1 for 10 on the season. With a run scored. And it's going to be a pop fly. They should be deep enough for the run to score. And we're going to Bowerman tags. And McGraw will send him home. So it's a 3-0 lead now. That brings up Red Ames 0 for 1 today. And that'll be a strike. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count now. That's a ground ball to second. And that'll do it for the Giants in the fourth. But they tack on another run, and it's 3-0 Giants. And Cleveland and Chicago are in the extra innings in the 11th, still tied at 1. After the White Sox came back to tie it in the bottom of the 9th. To send it to extra innings. So Abadicio, he's had some great plays in the field. He'll lead it off for the Beaneaters, down by 3 now. And he'll have himself a base hit. So a good start for the Beaneaters. Brings up Fred Tenney 0 for 1. And high and inside for ball 1. 2-0 the count now. 2-1 now. Strike 1 called. And that's a little dribble to shortstop. And Dallin will throw to first as Abadicio moves up on the fielder's choice. So we're running in scoring position with 1 down now for Jim Delahanty. 0 for 1 today. (2-0) the count on Delahanty. And swing and a miss for strike 1, 2-1. And that's a dribble to third. Abadicio will hold at second as Devlin fires to first for out number 2. So Rip Cannell with an opportunity to put the Beaneaters on the board here. 0 for 1 today. And that's a fly ball to center. Donlin's there and makes the catch for out number 3. So Beaneaters cannot get the run home, and it remains 3-0 as we head to the 5th. Top of the order, Donlin will lead it off 0 for 2 today. And that'll drop one in there behind second. So Donlin on with his first hit of the day. So George Brown 1 for 2 comes to the plate. Donlin being held on, and that's a base hit. No, we're going to hold him with nobody out. Donlin takes a wide turn but stays at second. So the first 2 runners on for the Giants here in the 5th, looking to extend their lead. Sam Mertes 1 for 2 comes to the plate. And an RBI single his first time up. 1 for 2. And 1-1 the count now. And then we move to the 12th with Cleveland, Chicago still tied. 1-2 the count now on Mertes. Count evens at 2. And that's going to be a base hit. That's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run comes in. And we're going to hold Brown at third. So Sam Mertes with an RBI double. Increases the Giant lead to 4-2 now as Donlin comes around the score. So Art Devlin with a chance to get some RBIs here and add to his 25 total for the season. And catches the inside edge for strike 1. 1-1 the count now. 1-2 now on Devlin. And that's a liner to Raymer. He'll make the catch for out number 1. So Bill Down with an opportunity here. 1 for 2 today. And outside corner for strike 1. Up high, 1-1 the count. Outside corner for strike 2, so 1-2 the count on Dowling. And that's a fly ball to center. This should be deep enough to get the run home. Both runners tag. So Dowling with a sacrifice fly. Increases the New York lead to 5-0 now. As Mertes moves to third. And Brown scores. So Barman's having a good day so far. 2 for 2. Ball 1. And that should do it. Oh, that one's hit a long way. But Sharp tracks it down. And that'll do it for the Giants in the 5th. So halfway through, it's the New York Giants shutting out the Beaneaters 5-0. So Ames up to 47 pitches through 4 innings. It's been very economical. So Moran to lead it off, 0 for 1 today. Pops this one up. Dowling calls for it. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Harry Wolverton. 0 for 1 today. And this one's hit a long way to left. But Mertes backpedals. Makes the catch up against the wall for out number 2. So that brings up Raymer. Raymer 0 for 1. Strikes him out. 3rd strikeout of the day for Ames. So Ames having a fine outing so far through 5. Allowing only 1 hit to the Beaneaters. So Billy Gilbert will lead it off, 1 for 2. It's this one a long way. But Sharp is there to make the catch for out number 1. Move to the 9th now with Cincinnati up over St. Louis 8-2. So Boileyard Clark up now 0 for 2. It's this one the center. Cannell gives chase and makes the catch. Red Ames 0 for 2. And the Giants go in order in the 6th. So after 5.5, the Beaneaters being shut out by the Giants 5-0. We move to the 14th now with Cleveland and Chicago tied at 1. So great pitchers duel there. So Ed Sharp will lead it off for the Beaneaters in the bottom of the 6th here. 0 for 1. Little dribbler. Nice play by Dowling on the run. Fires over to Clark for out number 1. Chick Fraser up now 0 for 1 today. He gets himself a base hit. It's only the 2nd hit of the day for the Beaneaters. And I don't think we're going to hold him on. We're not going to hold him on. It's the pitcher there. So Avedicio 1 for 2. Ball 1. Little number down the 3rd. Devlin's up with it over to 1st as Frazier moves to 2nd. But with 2 down now. Ed Tenney up now 0 for 2. And strike 1 called. Low and inside for ball 1, 1-1. And that'll be a base hit. That's going to put the... No, it's not, as they hold Frazier at 3rd. Didn't want to chance it there. So Delahunty up now. Delahunty 0 for 2 on the day. See if he can put the Beaneaters on the board. Inside, outside corner for strike 1. And that'll get the run home. Base hit. So an RBI single by Delahunty puts the Beaneaters on the board. Now a 5-1 game. Rip Cannell up now 0 for 2. Ames trying to limit the damage here. Quickly in the hole, 0 and 2. Little dribbler, and that's going to score a run. That gets through, so Cannell. And an RBI single. It's now a 5-2 game. So Bowerman go out to talk to Ames, try to settle him down. Brings up Pat Moran, who's 0 for 2. Change up for ball 1. And that's a line to Dowling, and that'll end the inning. But the Beaneaters score 2 and get on the board. And it's 5-2 after 6. So top of the order, Donlin will lead it off against Fraser. Fraser up to 93 pitches through 6. Donlin's 1 for 3 on the day. Little dribbler. Raymer's up with it over to Tenney for out number 1. George Brown has got a couple of hits today, 2 for 3. It's a grounded to third. Wolverton's up with it over to first for out number 2. Then we have Sam Mertes, who extended his hitting streak to 7 games. 2 for 3 on the day. And he draws a 2-out walk. So Mertes is going to try to steal again. He's got 1 stolen base already today. So he gets a jump, and not a good enough jump. Swing and a miss by Devlin, who's 0 for 3. Let's try to steal again. This time he does get a good jump, and he'll be out. So Moran nails him, trying to steal. And that'll do it for the Giants in the 7th. So 7th inning stretch time here. I don't think they did take me out to the ball game quite yet. So we won't do that. So Harry Wolverton comes up to lead it off for the Beaneaters in the home half of the 7th. 0 for 2 on the day. And that's a liner. Great play by Gilbert there. Makes a great leaping catch for out number 1. So the Giants flashing some good defense today. Raymer up now, 0 for 2. And this one Gilbert will not get to. And he's going to try for 3, and he'll be safe. So Raymer with a triple to right. Fans appreciative of that. That brings up Ed Sharp, who's 0 for 2. And that'll be a curve for strike 1. Little dribbler, Dowling with it. And they're going to concede the run here and get the sure out. So Sharp with an RBI ground out. Now it's a 5-3 game, so the Beaneaters closing the gap here late. Chick Fraser 1 for 2 still out there. Strikes him out. So we'll head to the top of the 8th with the New York lead now down to 2, 5-3. Art Devlin will lead it off. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Hits this one a long way to center. But Cannell is there on the warning track for out number 1. Bill Dowling 1 for 3. Hits this one to left. Delahunty makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down in the New York 8th. Brings up Bowerman up now, 2 for 3. That one's hit to left. And 1, 2, 3 go the Giants in the 8th. So head to the bottom of the 8th with the Giants holding on to a 2-run lead. Top of the order, Aberdiscio 1 for 3 will go up against Ames. Ames up to 97 pitches now through 7. Low roller. Dowling has it over to first. And nips Aberdiscio by a step. Fred Tenney 1 for 3. Strikes him out. So Ames now with 5 strikeouts on the day. So fairly big strikeout game for him today. Now has 31 on the season. So Delahunty 1 for 3 up now. Hits this one to right. Brown goes back and makes the catch. So that'll do it for the Beaneaters in the 8th. And we head to the ninth, with the Giants up by 2, 5-3. Billy Gilbert start off for the Giants, 1 for 3, takes a ball. Inside on the black, 1-1 the count now. 2-1 on Gilbert. Count evens at 2 with a swing and a miss. Dribble to short, Abadishi up with it. And his counterpart gets him for out number 1. Clark up now, 0 for 3. Low for ball 1. 2-0 the count now. Ball 3 will take a pitch here. And it's in there for a strike. Pops one up behind the plate. Moran gives chase, but that's bad. Oh, he makes a catch. It's a nice catch by a lot of foul territory here. So that's out number 2. So that'll bring up Red Ames, who's 0 for 3. Yeah, we'll let him hit for himself here. Strike 1. 1-1 the count now. And let's hit the third. Wolverton up with it, and he gets him. So we'll head to the bottom of the ninth with the Giants up by 2. And we'll, just in case, kind of used our relievers a lot. Our reliever, we only have 1. He's already gone over his pace, a little over 119%, so doesn't have a start coming up. So we'll start warming up just in case. Hopefully we will not have to use them. So it'll be Cannell, Moran, and Wolverton, heart of the order for the Beaneaters, down by 2. Cannell 1 for 3. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. 1-2 now. And that's going to fall in there. So tying run will come to the plate now. Moran, as Elliott continues to warm. Moran 0 for 3. Pops one up behind the plate. Clark, Barrowman gives chase, but it's out of play. 0-1 the count. That's a fly ball to right. Brown goes back and makes the catch. That one hit fairly deep, but Brown was able to get there. So 1 down now for Harry Wolverton. Wolverton hitless on the day. And that is going to be fastball, strike 1 called. Oh, and this one's hit a long way, and oh, Brown makes a cap up against the wall there. Ooh, that came close to tying it there. So Beaneaters down to their last out. Raymer 1 for 3. Strike 1. Down the middle. 1-1 the count now on Raymer. 1-2. So the Giants Beaneaters down to their last strike now. 2-2 the count. Full count now. Let's get aggressive here. Oh, and he walks him. He loses him. Wanted that one. So that'll bring up Sharp 0 for 3. Sharp has 1 game-winning RBI in the season. And that's hit to Gilbert. Gilbert goes over to second, and that'll do it. So the Giants hold on and beat the Beaneaters 5-3 to take Game 4 of the series, Game 2 of the doubleheader, and now have won 6 straight.
The final score in Game 2 from South End Grounds, New York 5, Boston 3, New York has won 6 straight. Red Ames is the winner. He is now 7-1 on the season. Chick Fraser is the loser. He is now 3-5 on the season. Time of the game, 1 hour, 51 minutes.
Alright, so let's take a look at... Don't know why they gave Hooks Wiltsey the player of the game. I think they meant to put Sam Mertes up there, 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. So they showed the wrong picture. Action PC Baseball will do that occasionally. So let's see here. So Red Ames goes the distance, gets the win. 7 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. ERA now down to, well, up to, I guess. It goes up a little bit. 2.75. Chick Fraser goes the distance also in the loss. Gets the loss, now 3-5. Allows 5 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk and no strikeouts. And ERA up to 3.45 now. Let's take a look at the hitting for both teams. For the victorious New York Giants, Donlin goes 1 for 4 with a run scored. Brown 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Sam Mertes 2 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Also walked once. Art Devlin 0 for 4. Bill Dallin 1 for 4. Bowerman behind the plate getting a start today. Gets a couple hits, 2 for 4 with a run scored, including a double. Mertes had a double also. Billy Gilbert 1 for 4. Clark 0 for 4 with an RBI. And Ames was 0 for 4, batting 9th. For the Beaneaters, Abadishio, the shortstop, 1 for 4. Tenney 1 for 4 with a run scored. Delahunty 1 for 4 with an RBI. Cannell 2 for 4 with an RBI. Moran 0 for 4. Wolverton 0 for 4. Raymer 1 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Also had a triple. Sharp 0 for 4 with an RBI. And Chick Fraser 1 for 3 with a run scored. Let's check out our miscellaneous here. So doubles for Bowerman and Mertes. Triple for Raymer. Stolen bases for Mertes, his 12th off Fraser. And Mertes was caught his 3rd time. Let's see. Great plays by Dallin, Gilbert, and 2 by Arboricio. So the shortstop's getting some great plays. Dallin with 19 great plays on the season now. New York left 4 runners on base. Boston 5. Game-winning RBI Sam Mertes, and they gave the MVP to Sam Mertes. Maybe we'll give him the MVP. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we'll give it to Sam Mertes because it was quite common for the pitcher to go distance, so it's not a. Although he did have a good outing, so yeah, I guess we'll give Sam Mertes the player of the game. 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted and a run scored. Also walked. So all right, so let's check. Let's see. Let's do the score sheet. Here's the score sheet for the Giants. Score sheet for the Beaneaters. And let's go for the recap. There you go. Play by play. All right, and that is it. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, my co-host Mr. Brody there, from another game from the dead ball here from the New York Giants. And actually, let's cut out of here, and let's look at the standings now. So with the win, the Giants are. Let's see what happened to the Cubs. Did they lose today? I think they did. I think they lost pretty big. Where is it? Yeah, 16-4 to Pittsburgh. So they picked up a game. Well, actually, Chicago only played 1 game today. They did, and the Giants played 2. So we picked up a game and a half on now only a half game out of first. So wow, that's the closest we've been in a while. So the next game we have a chance to vault into first place there if the Cubs lose or if they're idle the next day. Let's check and see what they're doing tomorrow. So actually we're idle tomorrow, I think. And the Cubs are also. Oh no, they're not. So let's see. So if the Cubs lose, let's check this out. Let's play all the games here. Says we could play it now. We're not going to play that one. Could play another Detroit game, but we'll hold off on that. Mr. Brody, I don't know, down here somewhere. Alright, let's play these games now. Let's see what happens. Yes, the Cubs lose by a score of 4-1 to Pittsburgh in 12 innings. And we are now tied with the Chicago Cubs for first place. And we are playing, and the Cubs are going to be playing also, too. So if we can get a win and Chicago a loss, we can vault in the first place by our lonesome. Right now, we're tied for first place with a 33-13 record. We played 2 less games than the Cubs have. All right, so stay tuned for that. So we'll have to definitely play a game soon here. Not wait as long now, as I'm sure everybody who's following the series is kind of interested now. See if the Giants, I know I am, see if the Giants can get in the first place. We are percentage points ahead in first place. So take care, God bless, and we'll see you in the next game number 47 of the 1905 New York Giants season. So see you in the next video. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.